outstanding today. His work rate, tracking back, winning headers, the finish, fantastic performance. Hello, welcome to another edition of the No Choftes podcast. OMONOIA are top of the league after a 2-1 victory over AEL. And Roy, welcome to the show. And before I do the proper introductions, what did I say a few weeks ago? Did I not say that if OMONOIA beat AEL home and away, we'll go on to win the title because the confidence will be there, the momentum will be there, and with 2 games to go there, listen, it's not done and dusted. I'm not saying it's done, but I'll tell you this, after today's result, second half performance especially, man, it will be difficult to take the title away from us. Welcome to the show there.
Hello, καλώς σε είδα ρε φίλε.
Nice to have you back, man. Your voice sounds raspy, man.
Φίλε, so I sound like Vasilis Karas, I think. Καλησπέρα και καλή βραδιά. Τι γίνεται ρε παιδιά? Εντάξει.
You can't feel it.
So it's a bit of lack of sleep and too much smoking because
run down, mate. You're run down.
16 hours a day. So until Friday, man.
It's got to be done, man. It's got to be done. Family, all that kind of stuff. It's got to be done. But hey, listen, you're grafting away. You're grafting away like this team of ours, there. Like this team of ours. Do you know what? I was thinking about when we were gonna start recording. I was thinking, shall we do the lineup? Shall we do this? Shall we do that? There's no point. And I'll tell you why there's no point. Because Endaxi, that first half wasn't 100% great. It's fine, man. It's fine. I told you, if your missus wants to be on the podcast, let her join us.
It's okay. It's okay. No, she's just because the baby's asleep. And she's like, you start recording. Anyway,
I'll be quiet. I'll keep it down. I promise. Sorry. So, as I was saying, the first half performance wasn't great. The second half.
Go for it, man.
Mate, I'll tell you this for now, yeah? I'll tell you this for now. At 1-0 down, I got a little bit worried because AEL were playing very good football. They're playing very good football. And listen, as much as I joke, I troll them, they're a very good team. They're a very, very good team, and they do deserve to be challenging. They do deserve to be up there because this season they've picked teams apart. They've really hammered teams. They've been organized, and we spoke about Gerges when we beat them 2-1. We spoke about how good they are. But today in that second half, and actually the first half wasn't great, and Maya scored a very good goal. Look, Michael will be the first one to admit that he probably shouldn't have got too tight on Maya. But the thing is, when you got a player like that with so much speed and trickery, it's very difficult to stop him. Be very, very difficult to stop him. But after that, the back line was solid. They didn't get through us. I think Maya had a half chance in the second half we put over the bar. But second half, we controlled it, man. We controlled the tempo. We moved the ball quicker. We were pressing higher. And it was a big improvement from the first half. And mate, you know what? I'm on such a high at the moment. I can't fault anyone. Eric's goal. Listen, just talk, bruv. Just talk. Talk.
Okay, talk. Okay. The way I saw the game, I thought that eventually AEL would have to attack at a certain point. They were lucky to score an early goal because it helped them, play λίγο καλύτερα διαχειριστήκαν, δηλαδή ήταν υπέρ τους τον goal. On the other hand, it woke us up, but AEL seemed to deal with the game with ease. We didn't really create much. We were slow, we were predictable. We didn't τους έκαναμε να τρέξουν because they were also tired. Something you had to bear in mind that they had the cup games and they lost. So
4 matches in 2 weeks, something like that, isn't there?
Sorry?
4 matches in 2 weeks for them?
Yeah. So ευνοήσαν τους ο ρυθμός του παιχνιδιού. I thought that our midfield wasn't very good. We had a few.
But when you say were they not very good, what do you mean by not very good? Do you think that they gave the ball away too much? Were they too predictable? What do you think?
I thought that Jordi wasn't. He was a lot better in the second half, but the first half he seemed a little bit nervous, I think. And Kusulos as well didn't have the energy levels we were used to. I don't know if it was because he was injured and he was a little bit more careful. I think it's not as if they dominated the midfield battle, they won it, but I thought that μες στο κέντρο δεν είμαστε το ίδιο Γκάλι.
Oh, do you know, so can I just interrupt you 2 seconds there?
Yeah,
And do you know what? While I value your opinion, and I'm not going to argue vociferously about it, what I will say is that Jordi and Gusu were very, very deep in the first half, and that's probably because Eric and Thiago were too wide. We tried to play a wide game, and that I didn't see Shehu overlapping much. I didn't see Lejax overlapping as much as he normally does. But in the second half, they became very narrow. So while Jordi and Gusu were still deep, but they pushed a little bit, maybe a couple yards further forward. Eric and Thiago were moving in field, which let Lejax get forward, let Shehu get forward. Okay, Shehu didn't get forward as much as he should because the fullback was getting forward. Sorry, the left winger was getting overlap. But no, sorry, continue.
Εντάξει, τούτο κάπως έτσι ήταν λίγο το παιχνίδι, ότι ευνοούσαν την ΑΕΛ, το γλύωρο γκολ βοήθησαν την, ετσίμησε μας. They were dealing with our attacks quite easily, comfortably. We didn't make them run a lot. I thought, like I said, that the midfield, but you explained the reason that might be. I thought that we didn't have the energy levels in midfield. So maybe that was a better way of putting it rather than saying anything else. Different. Okay. The second half, we scored an early goal, a fantastic goal, an amazing goal by Eric. Chepa also had very good vision and the placement, but it was really difficult for Eric to finish it. So it was a very, very nice goal. And,
it was a controlled finish as well, because
when
when Chepa put the ball back in, there was a lot of pace on the ball.
Yeah,
and it could have, if he puts his foot through it, Botiak, the ball could go anywhere, but he controlled it. It wasn't as if like he just thrashed at it. That's a fantastic finish, and Shepherd deserves the credit for seeing the pass.
Ναι. Τούτο ρε φίλε, και εντάξει ύστερα you were thinking that AEL eventually was going to open up, and you could see that from the changes that Kerkez made. He took defensive midfielders, put attacking midfielders, he put Babic as well. And you know what? I actually believe that Jonis could make a difference because he's, what we said a lot of times, he's explosive, he's very fast. And because of the energy level I said earlier about AEL was going to be tired, just took one moment of magic from Marinos, and it was a great finish. A fantastic finish from Marinos as well.
And Jorge, the way that he exploits space is brilliant. Yeah. He sees that space and he's like, I'm going to run into it. And that for a youngster, and no disrespect, to come from Cyprus, where the standard or the quality of football isn't like the Premier League or the big European leagues, to have that ability and to have that intelligence to do that, that's big, man. That's big.
Ο Marinos είναι πολύ καλός ρε φίλε, και είναι έξυπνος και he's mature. You know, he's mature, and it's his fourth year playing first team football. So, and you can see the anέλυξη του, the improvement on his body, on his tactically
trajectory. That's the one. Upward trajectory.
Ναι, so amazing win. It's a win that, like we said, it's not done and dusted by any means. AEL's out of the picture now, so it's between the two of us. So whatever happens with AEK, it's going to be decided against them. Like if we win or lose, I mean, from AEK, it's going to be decided the last game, unless Olympiacos does us a favor.
Don't hold your breath.
As we've been saying since the beginning of the podcast we started doing, it's for us to lose. And hopefully we're not going to lose it, Refile. Hopefully we're not. The truth is, I texted you I don't know. I started feeling a bit worried the last few days. I'm feeling the stress. I'm feeling the stress. So that's another reason you don't see me as happy as I should be, but we're still there. When we win, it's gonna be like,
yeah. And don't forget, it's 10:15 at night in Cyprus, and for you to be recording, you're knackered. You got work in the morning as well, man. You've been working your ass off. So listen, it's understandable that you're feeling quite lethargic, but yeah, man. Listen, and Daxi, look, as I said before, AEL are a very good team. Yorgil came on. Yorgil, who came through Tottenham's academy, he's a very good player. And he had the chance. He put it just wide, aimed for the near post. Maya had that half volley, which went over the bar. But, the bravery shown by Huberchan and Lufner today. Lufner was throwing his body in front of balls. He was committed. Huberchan looked absolutely knackered when he went off, but he put in a shift. Lejax again. Fabi didn't really do too much, really, did he? But listen, it's just this is the difference between us and AEL, right? And I'm sorry to do this, because Vozinha, I've been pounding him, right? And while he wasn't at fault for any of the goals today, if they had a Fabiano in goal, they'd be top of the league because he makes a difference. The goalkeeper makes a difference. I know, and I understand a goalkeeper is only as good as the defense in front of him. So AEL's defense is very good. They're very solid, but a goalkeeper will win you 12, 13 points, 14 points and win you the title. We've got that with Fabi. As we've seen this season.
You can say the same about Apollon, Jovanovic, when he, before him was Dimitriou. And you remember the save with Fotis and then the save with Mae against AEL, 2 saves. So yeah, for sure. But I mean, we're talking about the best keeper that maybe have played in Cyprus. Fabiano, for me, he's not only the best keeper this year, he's not the best keeper OMONOIA ever had. He's one of the best that ever played the position in the island, Refile Fabiano, and we're so lucky to have him there. But the back four were really good defensively. Like you said, Michael, maybe. I think the problem was, I think he followed him way out,
too high on the pitch, you reckon?
Yeah, too high, and then so when Maya got the ball and then turned, he was faster. And I think there's players that if they understand the mistake they made, it might fuck him up. But Michael, I think that made him better because after that, nobody went past him. And saying that it wasn't like 100% his fault. Okay, a player is a bit faster. Maybe he could have done it a bit better. But for me, Michael today was the best out of the defense.
Ribs are okay because that knock landed on Maya's head. I mean, Maya's head must be made out of duvla, man. Honestly. But no, on a serious note, he's been outstanding this season, and I'm not just saying that because we know him. He's been fantastic, and we did a show a few weeks ago saying that we need to keep a player like him. As for Maya's goal, again, it was a fantastic finish. If you look at it from behind Maya's view, from Vozinha, for example, the way that he arched it in the bottom corner,
it was a class finish.
We need to do a team of the season, but with non-OMONOIA players. I think that's what we need to do at the end of the season because he'd be definitely in it. I know he hasn't got that many goals this season, though, has he?
No, I think he scored 14 goals this season.
14?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that for some reason.
I thought it was 11 or 12, but then when δάμε που το ακούω στην τηλεόραση, είναι το 14ο γκολ του Μάε.
Okay. So, 14th. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's young as well.
Yeah,
he's
23,
young,
24, isn't it?
Maybe even so, maybe 22. I don't know.
Oh,
but we can do that. We can do that. There's a lot of things we can do after the prodafrima. We can do a review of our players. We can do for the year. We can do for όλα MVPs. Να κάνουμε πολλά πράγματα μετά. Να μακάρι να πιάνε το προάθλημα ρε παιδί. Να θα σκύψει.
So I've got an itch on my leg and people think I'll be doing something else. I promise I'm not. I've got an itch, I promise. But I was going to say, look, what about Eric? Because Eric had that injury and he was out for a couple of months. He got that injury against Granada, quite a serious injury. And he struggled to get back into the team. And we were saying, well, perhaps, his time will be in the playoffs, because if we need to save him, we need to wrap him up in cotton wool and then unleash him when need be. And here we go. He's come in, but he came in for Luizo, who obviously is injured. Outstanding today. His work rate, tracking back, winning headers, the finish, fantastic performance.
I think it was the first podcast we did together against Ethnikos when we beat them 2-0 with 2 own goals. I think the talk about Eric started since then, and I remember because it was the first podcast, and I remember saying, and you saying the same thing, that it's the media that want to cause a lot of trouble at Omonia. Obviously, Eric wasn't happy. He wasn't going through the best phase of his time at Omonia, because he's a big player and with an ego, and he wants to play an important role, and you can't play an important role when you're sitting on the bench. But we both agreed that when the time comes, Eric's going to be very decisive and he's going to help. And we also said that it was unfair for the others not to be playing, because it was when we had that spell of winning and scoring goals. But yeah, for sure, Eric could have had more minutes when he was back in full fitness. But the fact that the last 2-3 games is one of the best shows how big a player he is, and it didn't faze him, and he seems to be enjoying his football. Another important factor, I think, is because his kids came back. He hadn't seen for 7 months, so we don't have to forget that as well. That football players are human beings. They've got their needs, their families. They miss I haven't seen my children in 2-3 days because of work, and I miss them. Imagine not seeing them for 7 months and being in a foreign country. So yeah, Eric's been outstanding, and he seems to be enjoying his football, enjoying playing for Omonia, enjoying being part of the team again. And Berg gave him praise as well in the press conference. And Eric is Eric. We're talking about one of the best players in the Stoprodastra. He's got nothing to prove to anyone, So fantastic finish, fantastic goal, and a step closer again. But we're still there. We will be, no matter what happens in the next game. So that's why I'm saying that the way I see it is probably going to be decided the last game against Apollon. Just push your cheat the size of Burj Khalifa.
There you go. You be watching. I'm gonna talk about right. Like you said, it's in our hands. We beat AEK. Baksila will beat AEK. Go to the last game. We avoid defeat and we're champions, right?
Yeah.
Avoid defeat, and I don't think we're going to play for a draw. So and the thing is, today, I'm not going to be 100% honest. When I saw Lang coming on, I could feel people saying, "Oh, here we go, defensive change." When Johnny's came on, "Oh, defensive change. What's he going to do in this?" And I'm thinking, well, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If he brings on another defender, and actually, I know he took off Huberchan, and so he basically kept the same system. But if he brings on another defender, people are saying that he's being too defensive minded. But if he brings on a forward and we lose the game, then people are going to say, "Oh, well, he should have gone on another defender." This guy knows what he's doing there. He knows what he's doing. And
that's sorry, Huberchan νομίζω he got a slight knock. So I don't know if he planned to put Adam no matter what was going on. I think Huberchan, because I'm with again, is like ice. He wanted ice. So maybe he got a knock or something, and he put Adam. But then Johnny's looking at it, I thought that Johnny's was the right decision.
Yeah.
For the reason I explained earlier.
Yep.
He's explosive. The defensive backline of AEL was starting to get tired. We had the spaces for midfield, and he's got the speed and the pace and the dribbling, and he sees the pockets, like you said. So, έβαλε τον και σύρεντους τον κόλου τον Johnny.
There was a little hint of offside, though, wasn't there? A little hint of offside.
νομίζω, if you see it, he starts off as slight offside, but then the ball goes back, αλλάζει φάση, and it goes,
Recycled, isn't it? Yeah.
It got recycled, and I think it went through
defender, didn't it?
Riera,
Defender, yeah.
from Riera or something, it went to Johnny. So yeah, he could have, if he decided to go back μια φάση πριν, maybe, but after it got recycled and then it was off player of AEL, so he didn't really get an advantage per se, you know.
Yeah.
So
there you go. But hey, there you go. AEL out of the title race. 2 games to go. 2 big games. 2 big games, and I don't think the players are going to be complacent. They're going to be focused like they were today. Ernest sent me a video of him dancing on one leg, which is bloody hilarious. I'll have to show it to you. I'll send it to you. But yeah, all's well that ends well there. And I never did. I'll say this now, and people are going to say, "Oh, you say this because you guys have won the game." But I say this because at no point did I think we're going to lose this. At no point. And once again, it goes back to what we said time and time again. When this team goes a goal behind, it's not over. They play to the 91st, the 92nd, the 93rd, and the 94th, however many minutes. They keep going. They don't know when they're beaten. And this is a sign of a championship winning team, man. Right? We were texting each other earlier today, and I was saying 2 of our Bolon's goals yesterday, deflections. The game against AEL the other day when Vozinha handed them the win. Come on, man. Your luck's got to run out eventually. It's got to run out eventually. And, I'm just confident. I'm confident. I'm not arrogant. I'm confident.
Like you should be, Refile. Like you should be. It's confidence and it's belief in that you believe in the team. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Before we wrap it up there, Roy, you have an item in your hand which you're going to inform our listeners about, or viewers, shall I say? Besmas.
Yeah. Basically, I'm going to show this and then I'm going to explain. You see this?
It looks like an invisible shirt, but yeah, I know what it is. There you go. I can see it.
Now you can see it, yeah?
There you go. Davidson. That's an authentic cup final shirt, isn't it?
Τελικός κυπέλλου. And τούτη φανέλα ανήκει στον Davidson, ο οποίος Davidson έδωσε σε ένα φίλο της ομάδας, ο οποίος θέλει να παραμείνει ανώνυμος, να μην πούμε ποιος είναι. Να το πω λίγο στα ελληνικά, ρε στέλνει, και ύστερα λέει στο στα αγγλικά. Όταν αρχίσαμε να κάνουμε το podcast με ο Στέλ, ένα από τα πράγματα που είπαμε ότι θέλουμε να κάνουμε είναι να βοηθούμε όσο μπορούμε. Λίγο, πολλά και μια υποσχέση που θέλουμε να κρατήσουμε. Και στους 3-4 μήνες που κάνουμε podcast με ο Στέλ, τούτο που έγινε, τούτη φανέλα που σας έδειξα για μένα, ήταν η πιο όμορφη στιγμή που όλα που κάναμε στο podcast. Γιατί ένας άνθρωπος ήρθε χωρίς να τον ξέρουμε και είδε να που κάναμε και εμείς για την Μαρία, όχι μόνο εμείς. Και λέει, ρε φίλε, χωρίς να σας ξέρω, έχω την φανέλα που τη φυλάμε 10 χρόνια, έδωσε μου το Davidson, εφυλάτη και να την αφήσω στα μωρά μου, αλλά μετά που ήταν να που κάνετε, είπα είναι η σωστή στιγμή να δώσω την φανέλα, να την δωρήσω και εγώ για τη Μαρία. Και respect στον τον άνθρωπο και διπλό και τριπλό respect που έφερε να πει το όνομα του άνθρωπου. Οπότε έκαμε το ξεκάθαρα που την καλοσύνη του και έκαμε πολλά συγκινητική στιγμή και για μένα είναι η κορυφαία των καιρών που άρκεψαν το podcast να δείχνει και λίγο τη δύναμη, έστω τη μητσά που έχουμε και εμείς μέσω του που κάνουμε για να βοηθούμε. Και ναι, είπαν ότι η φανέλα, στο τέλος της ημέρας, εκτός που τη φανέλα των Bulls, που να κληρώσουμε τον Ιούνιο, να έχουμε και τούτη την αυθεντική φανέλα που σας έδειξα και σας είπα του Davidson, των τελικών του 2011, που να μπει και τούτη στην κλήρωση και πάλι για την Μαρία μας, okay? So, τούτα ρε φίλε, είπα το στα ελληνικά, Still, if you want to say in English, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think you've said it all, man. The people that are going to be listening, but I'll just say, that we've had an anonymous, I can't even say the word, anonymous donator, should I say. It's a Davidson Cup final worn shirt, a match worn shirt. It's been donated. And this is, as Roy said, when we started doing the podcast, we said we want to give something back. It doesn't have to be just with Maria. We're going to explore other avenues as well. And the gesture that this gentleman has made is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. This is a shirt that he could have kept for himself, and he didn't have to do this. So it just shows you what community this is. And Roy, I'm going to tell you this now from the bottom of my heart, man. The support that I have received, not just the show, but I have received from people in Cyprus, it's been immense. And what I'm going to say is probably going to upset a lot of people, but I'm just going to say it anyway. In the UK, Cypriots within the UK aren't as tight, if that makes sense. We're not like that. Or something Gibro, right?
Yeah.
So when I see the way that the Gibrei, the Cypriots are out in Cyprus, towards the podcast, towards the videos that I do, towards you and I, towards everything that we do as a team, I get goosebumps. And again, this isn't to throw shit at the Gibrei in London, because there are a lot that are very supportive, and I'm not pushing them to one side. But growing up in London, growing up in North London, especially where there's a big Greek community, it pains me to say this, but the Turkish community are more supportive of each other. The Jewish community are more supportive of each other. Somalian community. And while the Greek community do their own thing, and granted, they are a tight community, or it is a tight community, it's not as tight as it should be. It's not as tight as it should be. And again, when I see gestures like this, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And again, I didn't want to take this as an opportunity to throw shit at people, but we as North London Cypriots, or as Cypriots as a whole in London or in England, throughout the country, should be doing more. We should be doing more. And that's just my honest opinion. But hey, listen, that's going off subject. It's a fantastic gesture, and I hope that we can raise more money. I've actually lost count how much we've helped raise so far there, Roy. And I don't want to brag about it either. Do you get what I'm saying? But it is a big amount. I'm guessing.
I feel like the people who should know will know. I mean,
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's been remarkable, the response. And even Danny Fishweek, the guy who provided the shirt, messaged me today, goes, fantastic win. He wanted a stream. I didn't have a stream for him. I'm sorry, Danny. I didn't have a stream for him. But this is what this club does. It makes friends. It's a remarkable club. It's a remarkable fan base. And when we talk about the European Super League and how these big teams in England wanted to break away and practically destroy English football, no one talks about the other nations, how it will hurt other nations. No one wanted to talk about Cyprus or Greece or Turkey or Belarus or Slovakia.
They don't care.
They don't. They don't. But see, the thing is, sorry, I'm just going to say one more thing. When the Super League was announced, I said, go, fucking go. Because when you've got teams like OMONOIA, that it's all about heart. Do you know what I mean? It's all about a family. As Matt Darby said, it's a family. Like Fofi said. Like, all the other people that we've had on. Sofiane. They've all said that this club is a family. So we don't need the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas. Fuck off. We don't need them. Sorry, carry on.
Actually, what I was going to say is that, it's football. They don't care about countries that, people die. They're going to care about football. And it showed at the end of the day that people still have power, even though I don't think that this is going to end here. I think eventually they're going to come back. I don't know if it's going to be in a different sort of form or... but it's going to come back to, I don't think they said the last word. Maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, some sort of other league's going to start, And it's a shame because football is all about competing. And I'm not naive to believe that, football is just a game like it was, years ago. And I don't think like UEFA is an angel or someone who's going to save the game. And εισόδη ενώ οι πόντις πας στο άσπρον το άλογο που να πιάσει πριγκίπισσα. Και γίνοι μαλάκες είναι, και γίνοι μαθίες είναι. Εντάξει, φίλε, okay. But when you grew up in Cyprus in the 80s and the 90s, this is the football I love. που χωρέν το γήπεδο 15.000 και περνάμε 25 ας πούμε. Ευκαιρνάμε που πάνω από τις κατίνες, που ευκαιρνάμε από προβολείς, που φακούσαμε που πάνω από τούτο, που ευκαιρνάμε το τράχτορ και το lift και ευκαιρνάμε πάνω για να θωρούμε. This is φωτοβολίδες, 120 φωτοβολίδες ας πούμε. Τι είναι η μαπά ρε φίλε. Και πρέπει να πιένεις με τους φίλους σου και να φεύγεις με τους φίλους σου, και να περιπέξεις τον άλλον και εκείνον. Τούτον είναι η μαπά ρε φίλε.
Spot on.
Anyway,
spot on.
sorry I wasn't fun today, man.
Don't be silly, man. Don't be silly. Listen, we didn't lose. We're top of the league. All is great. All is great. Εντάξει, well, look, let's wrap it up. Φιλεμού, Instagram.
Roy No Choftes and at Chase Dell for my boy Stell here.
Thank you very much. And this was the No Choftes podcast on the OLB, which I keep forgetting to mention. Sorry, Oscar.
It's last but not least, man.
Last but not least, yeah.
No.
Save the best for last, isn't it?
It's
Roy, go on, wrap it out there.
Πάμε στη λάκα μου, Ομόνια, λαός πρόθυμα, σε παρακαλώ, Ομόνια.